Good evening, fellow travelers on spaceship Earth. It is I. I am Guy. I don't know, ambient sounds good to me. And I have apparently like phenomenal Christmas lights going. Yet another wild choice from the world of Alexa. So there you go. I'm going to switch over now. We're doing a body doubling stream. For those of you who are not familiar with what this is a body doubling stream. So those of us that are neurodivergent tend to do a good job of working if other people are working. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work, and you guys can work doing your work and join me and talk to me if you wish. There we go. So I'm going to do this 4-pager. I just have to think about stuff here. There we go. Maybe something more like critics are supposed to hate me. So there we go. Here. There we go. if it was just one review or if it was many songs. Hey there, Jackson. Oh, I'm doing well. I'm a little stressed out, hitting up on some deadlines here. We've got jet deadline on the 17th, running out of days to get figure out which direction I'm going, jet or back to school. I was at Metro earlier today, and I think that'll be fun. And I'm actually kind of looking through all of the paperwork, and I like it. It's okay, but it still does mean that I technically have not been accepted to CU, which means that I still need to kind of keep Plan B hanging out. So I've got to finish all of the jet paperwork, and then they just need two. They need two letters of recommendation from somebody who's worked with me, and that's harder than it looks. Either academic people who have seen me in school or people who have worked with me. And I'm like, well, most of the jobs that I've worked for have collapsed under their own weight. So I would need something else. So I'm like trying to figure out how I can get a letter of recommendation to fit there by tomorrow, by Friday. It's all right. We'll get it. I'm just a little scrambly. You can always join, even if you're not drawing. It's a body doubling thing. So if you just wanted to join and chat, you certainly could. I'm drawing, so at least one of us would be drawing. I mean, I'm not drawing anything serious. I'm sketching out. But you are more than welcome to join, of course. You can always join. And I think that once I go back to school, some of these streams are going to be me sitting over here working on homework. So, you know what I mean? Like, I don't expect that I'll be drawing every time. Besides, we can talk about some of the things that we learned at um, Rocky Mountain Con. You should be doing your homework. Oh, I see you, Brad. You're here. I can sort of hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me.
Okay, guy.
There you are. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I had to switch all my sounds over.
That's all right. How you doing this evening?
Good. Hold on. I need to delete the second page.
Okay.
All right, now I think we're good now. What's going on?
Oh, I'm trying to lay out these 4 pages. 4 pages is hard.
Oops.
Just like not enough space for stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell a whole story in just 4 pages, and it's really, really hard. I kind of like it. I'm kind of enjoying it a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of a good challenge, you know, getting in there. I also apparently am into Christmas mode without being in Christmas mode. So there's that. Weird, but true. So like all of my lights behind me are stuck in a different mode. But they're not stuck in the same different mode. They're all just stuck in different modes, which happen to end up being Christmassy. I think that's funny. So I got like green and red over here for reasons. These were red over here, and these are all white over here, but you can't see those. So. But it is still funny. It just cracks me up. I don't know.
I just turned on my ring light, and it's got the rainbow colors making circles.
Right? Like everything's kind of gone crazy.
Yeah. We're just leave it like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It's a mood setter.
Right? It's just showing the stream is really crazy tonight. That's all.
Yeah.
Crazy stream.
So you're what, on your couple pages in there?
Yeah, I'm just doing sketches. So
I'm
just trying to thumbnail the ideas out. Like, what am I going to do here? You know, I'll start with, I need to kind of give that intro and kind of go through that. So I'm doing the intro on page 1. And then, you know, we go straight into a conflict. You know, her manager is like, you know, the critics have said that, you know, that they, you know, the critics are talking about this. And she's like, well, critics are supposed to hate me. And the guy's like, it's not you they hate. And it's, you know, yeah, he hated that one song. And then he goes, well, if it was just one review or if it was just many songs. And she's like, it's the song I wrote. Not Mila, me. So then I'm trying to get into the, you know, I've been singing her songs for almost 60 years now, and my first attempt at something new is a flop. And then, you know, the manager's like, well, maybe you're just rusty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no. And now I'm on that page now. It's like this last page here where it's like, you know, because it's got to be something about she's not the same person. Even though she's a duplicate, even though she's a clone, you know, even though she's an artificial intelligence that was mimicked from an actual person, she's a different person. She's a different being. And she just doesn't have the magic. And that's got to be so I'm kind of building backwards, like to here.
So you set up your I can't think of a better word. Your punchline. This is the punchline of the joke, so to speak. It's not a joke.
It's not a joke, but yeah.
And you're building backwards from that.
Right. I just don't have the magic, and then there's an open frame where nothing happens, and then the exact same frame here, which is something I like to do a lot of. I like to do 2 exact frames so it shows that the people are sitting there and just thinking about it.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
And then
there's time passes by.
Right, she's thinking it over, and then she's, you know, says, you know, strike the song. Because that's the way it should end, with her going, there's nothing I can, you know, she's going to be an Elvis impersonator for the rest of her life. And she needs to accept that.
Mm.
You know, like, she doesn't have Elvis's ability to make Elvis songs, you know, because effectively what we've got here is we've got somebody who cloned Elvis, just before he died. And the clone has been singing Elvis songs this entire time, but tries to come up with something new and nobody likes it. And it's because the clone isn't Elvis. The clone is somebody else, a different character, a different person.
Okay.
So, because I mean, in this universe, the AIs are their own beings. They are their own people, and so, yeah, I'm trying to think out. So, yeah, exactly. I'm just going backwards from the punchline, if you will.
Huh. Nice. Okay. Cool.
Because it gives us nice. It's a 4-page science fiction-y feel to it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Jackson. I see you. Hang on.
Did it work?
There we go. Yes, I can hear you even.
Okay, that's weird because I'm not seeing like my icon like there, but that's okay. Maybe it's because I don't have a camera going.
Yeah, you don't have a camera on. When you don't have a camera on, you just stay off screen and become the disembodied voice of our.
That's okay.
show.
That's fine. I'll be the disembodied voice.
This is my buddy Jackson. Jackson used to be part of Red Team Go, but then moved out to South
Dakota, yeah,
to Tennessee, and every so often he'll join the show. And Jackson, this is my buddy Bradley, who married a buddy of mine from high school.
Hello.
So, but the buddy of mine
of yours
family, so Bradley's now kind of family now because all those people you've known so long that they just become family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Bradley's married into the family effectively, for better or for worse.
Sounds like a threat.
Right. You'd have to kind of know Jen for.
Yeah.
Kind of is.
That's funny.
And she's back there making commentary.
That's funny.
Yeah. She's grading college English, so she's pretty busy.
Uh-oh.
She's coming over. You got her.
No. We are all over here just hanging out on the thread.
Now I can't see what I'm doing.
Right.
It's very psychedelic over here.
Right? That's what we were thinking. Like, all the colors are weird tonight.
I
Everybody's
know.
like, I've got Christmas colors going behind me. I don't know what. Here we go. I don't know where we're going, but man, I've got green and red behind
It's
me.
going to be pretty.
So,
It's
I have
gonna
no
be-
idea.
I don't have my lights up yet. I have them still where they were last year, which is like on the opposite side. I have like a studio, like just a little studio apartment. They're like on the opposite side where I used to have my desk set up.
Yeah.
So I would need to like take them down and bring them over here and set them back up. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So they may just stay over there, but who knows? Maybe I'll bring it over. Maybe I'll bring it over here. I don't know.
Right. So, over
Like-
the. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say because I'm not renewing my lease, so I'm moving out in July. So I don't know if I want to even bother.
Right.
Haven't been around very much. I feel like I've missed a lot.
Yeah.
I've been so busy with so many things, and even like the last 3 weeks, I've not been able to stream even on my own channel. The last 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, I had like a family emergency happen, and so I've been between my house and my dad's house the last 3 weeks.
Is everything okay?
It's okay now. Like to put it succinctly, my uncle had a fight with a 7,500-gallon tanker truck.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, he didn't win that one. He didn't win that one, but everyone's okay. He's home now, so he's finishing up his recovery at home, so all's well that ends well. And then I also had that one shot I had to do for Viz.
Right.
And I got my feedback for that on Monday from son.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I actually got to like have feedback directly from Sasaki Hisashi on it, which was really cool.
That is cool. That is really
Nice.
Yeah, and for the most part, he liked the idea. He actually, I don't know if this is a compliment. I think it's a compliment, but like, he's like, Pawn reminds me a lot of Goku from Dragon Ball. He just likes fighting because it's fun, and I'm like, is that a compliment? I can't tell. Is it bad that he's a lot like Goku? Is it good that he's a lot like Goku? Is this good or bad? But it was weird because like here's this like manga like editorial like legend like sitting in front of me giving me like feedback on like my one shot, and I'm like, oh my god, is this real? is this really happening? But so he gave me like his, so like it was only about 30 minutes, but like he gave me his thoughts, and then he asked me a bunch of questions like, what's your intention, like let me clear up a few things before like I offer you suggestions. And then for like the last 15 minutes we kind of were like figuring out like what, like brainstorming together like how to solve the problem, like how to make, and we ended up coming up with a solution that I think is pretty nice, pretty cool. Like I'm game for it. He's like, all right, try again and resubmit. I'm like, okay. So
Cool.
basically just like they do it in Japan, you know, you go in, you go see an editor, you talk, you get feedback, and then you come back and do it again. That's basically what I have now with Hisashi-san, which is really cool. But
right, specifically with Hisashi-san, that's kind of cool.
yeah, so yeah, specifically with him, which is really, really neat. Yeah, I've been like, do I tell people? Do I not tell people? Like,
Well, you
is
just
it
told a whole bunch
weird?
of people.
It's okay. It is what it is.
I actually
You know?
I hate to say this, but you probably told 3 people, 4 people maybe on the outside, but that's all right.
Well, I mean, like it's not like I'm, you know, I didn't sign in anything or whatever.
No, I know.
You know, so
I'm teasing you because we have, I think, 2 viewers.
but
So,
yeah.
and one of them's probably Brent's bot.
Mm. Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah,
Not
so
like we broadcast this to too many people out there.
yeah, and I don't have my channel up at the moment, so
Right.
but yeah, I mean that's kind of like the last 3 weeks. That's kind of what I've been doing. I basically had to take like 2 weeks to get the one shot, 2-3 weeks to get the one shot done, and then submit it. And then he got back to me I submitted that last Sunday, and then he got back to me on Monday with like a video call or whatever. And it'll probably be at least a couple more weeks, especially going into like Christmas and the holidays with everything we're doing with Global Comics. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna have the time for that. The time to like really genuinely focus on it. But he's like, no worries on the deadline, and like you don't need to worry about it. Like just you know, take your time and like do good work. There's no deadline. He kept like emphasizing there's no deadline. Like, maybe for you there isn't, but Lord help me, I'm not going to give myself one.
Right.
Because I want to move on. Because like the longer I work on like, the longer I work on that one shot, like the less time I have for God's Bane. You know what I mean?
So it's time for.
And like, you know, like I've had other publishers like reaching out and being like, hey, like, do you want to do lettering work? And I'm like, I don't know if I have time for that. With everything else. Oof. So yeah, that's where I've been. I've been out in La La Land trying to keep my head above water.
That's fair. Yeah, so I was at Rocky Mountain Con.
Yeah, how did it go?
It went fine. It went just fine. It was a little overcrowded, and so kind of, I mean, like there's a lot of vendors.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think there was a confusion somewhere because I ended up in the atrium for the first day. So Saturday I was out in the atrium with a couple of other artists, and then Saturday night, Raph texted me and said, "Hey, do you want to share my table with me?" Because he had a table in the room, in the dealer's room.
Mhm.
So I took the other half of his table. And at some point during Sunday, AC Canales?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came over to the table and he was talking to us. And it was kind of one of those funny discussions where AC was like talking to Raph about putting in, because apparently AC's doing anthology and
Mhm.
he's looking for submissions. And Raph's like, "Did you ask Guy?" And AC looked at me and I looked at him and shrugged, and AC goes, "Do you do comics?" And Raph's just
What?
like points at Bellatrix Rising, which is sitting right in front of me. But of course, I guess the way that it looked like I was manning Raph's table, and so maybe those were just his other I don't know. But AC was like, "Oh, wow, I didn't even notice." And so he picked up my comics, he's thumbing through it, and he's like, "Yeah, do you want to do a 4-page?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll do a 4-page." He's like, the deadline's December 31st. I'm like, "Yeah, I can do that for you." So I'm rattling this 4-page out for him. And it can be in universe, so I can have it. The only thing he asks is that it not be anything copyrighted, like not use
Yeah.
Star Trek. And I'm like, "That's fine.
That makes
I'll
sense.
make it in Bellatrix universe." And he's like, "That's fine. That'll work just fine." So now I'm trying to write up this 4-page for it, and it's hard to get 4 pages. It's hard to just do just 4 pages. I mean, so that's what I've been scrambling to do. And then today I went down to Metro and signed up and applied. That's kind of like a complicated thing. So I don't know if you've heard the latest in the drama that is my return to college.
No.
Okay, so
I don't think
I went and applied at CU Boulder, and you know that they won't take Westwood.
Yeah.
Which is fine. When I went up there, I happened across my old classes that I took up there, and that allowed them to keep me as a transfer student because they were CU Boulder classes, so that fit. But then they came back and they said, "Well, but here's the problem. The classes you took here, you took an art class and a physics class, and you took a Japanese class. And you aced the art class, you failed the physics class, and you got a C in the Japanese class, which makes you a 2.0 student. That's too low to enter into CU Boulder." And I'm like, "Uh-huh." And they're like, "So we want you to go to like just do 12 to 24 credit hours at Metro or something to prove that you can make a 3.0. And I said, "Well,
like remedial basic."
Right. And I was like, but at Westwood I was a 3.45 and I was on the honors roll and the dean's list." And they were like, "Yeah, I know, but we can't accept that." And I'm like, "Well, if you're just trying to prove that I'm a good student, why can't you just accept that? I mean, you're just looking to see if I do my homework effectively." And you're judging like 19-year-old me, versus 35-year-old me when I was much, much, much more focused and had figured out how to deal with ADD. And you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So frustrating. So today I went down to Metro, which was actually fun. And I met the transfer advisor, and she was really cool. And I liked her a lot. And we really like got all involved in like Star Trek, Star Wars stuff. And that was cool too. It's like she and I were really kindred spirits, but she was really high energy and cool, and she gave me a whole bunch of information and all kinds of neat stuff like that. So I now am a little bit more jazzed about going to Metro than I was before, because before I was kind of like, this is going to be like a road bump, because I'm like, But then I came home and I was finishing up my JET application and found out that I need 2 letters of recommendation, but I need them to be from academic superiors or work superiors. They cannot be from friends. So I got one from Amanda, who's the con chair at NDK, because that works. I tried to get one from our translator, who I'm very big friends with her, but she works for the consulate and reviews the jet applications, so she can't. It's conflict of interest.
Oh,
So she couldn't help me.
yeah.
So then I was like contacting my buddies back in Japan, and like I don't have connection anymore with my teachers who were there. Otherwise, that'd been perfect. My JTE and I were still talking up until he moved and I moved at the same time. And then we both lost each other's addresses in the move because we moved at the same time. And so I've lost track of him. I lost track of him, 10 years ago? So now I'm like, I'm going to try tomorrow to see if my driving school boss will write me a letter of recommendation. And we'll see. I don't think I'm that.
I don't see why they
Well,
wouldn't.
I'm not that excellent of a teacher, so I'm not sure that she would necessarily do that. I don't know. I mean, she might just do it out of the kindness of her own heart, but I'm going to have to finish that because that all needs to be done by Friday. So, because that's my plan B, is to go back to Japan on jet. And originally it was going to be, if CU falls through, I'll go back on jet. But now it's looking like I'm going to have to apply for jet and for CU at the same time and see which one makes it first. And there may be a moment of having to turn down jet and still not get into CU, and thus all of my plans fall through. But now I have a plan C, which I actually kind of like, which is finishing up my bachelor's at Metro. That's my plan C, which I didn't actually have that plan before, but now I do. So, like I was originally thinking that Metro would be the stepping stone to CU, but if CU doesn't accept me, I can finish out the bachelor's at Metro, and that's fine. So that wasn't actually a plan I had until I met the transfer advisor. And I was like, that's not a bad plan. Didn't even think of it. It was pretty obvious, but not obvious clearly to me. But that's okay. So this is the drama up until now.
Goodness.
So the other drama is not a drama yet. Have you ever heard of Whatnot?
Yes.
I just got approved as a seller on Whatnot.
I definitely
So
know.
I'm going to give that a shot and see what happens.
Yeah, definitely try that. See if that works out for you. Like, I think you should always make sure you do your research to see like who affiliates themselves with certain places. Like certain comic groups that should not be named. So you should always like double check those things just to know what you're actually getting into. But I think if that's fine, if that clears, try it. You never know. You might find that one place that finally takes off for you. You never know.
So Brad, what I discovered is we were talking about this over the weekend.
Yeah.
There's a new social media out there called Whatnot, and it's like a hybrid between Twitch and eBay. So essentially, you go on to this thing and you can live stream. Originally, they had it built to be for little card shops or whatever. So you've got a Pokemon card and you can have them live bid on your live stream. So you'd live stream it and they'd bid. Well, the artists have discovered that they could draw a drawing and people could watch the live stream and bid on the drawing while the person's drawing it, and then whoever wins the bid gets the drawing. So that's what I'm going to give it a shot on, but you have to go through kind of some complicated hoops to become a seller because they want to make sure you're really who you are and not just some bot. So you have to send them your driver's license and have that verified and all this stuff and connect it to things and all that.
Yeah, probably for seller protection.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
NFTs and stuff.
Yeah,
my account set up in that, and
well, I mean, it can be traditional drawings as well, so I don't necessarily think it's like NFTs, right?
Well, no, I'm just saying I had those issues when I did NFTs, and you get your the Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff. You have to send in your pictures of your driver's license and everything to get set up.
Yeah.
It was like, do I really want to send you a picture of this to
Right.
get an account? But okay.
But yeah, I mean, like, you get stuck in NFTs and you start owing people shit, and then you're fucked. Like, they're gonna
That's
come
true.
after you.
Yeah. Very
It
true.
is true. But yeah.
I mean, I didn't get in them for other reasons, but
Yeah, I gave up on it because what I feel from my experience is I got in. I had a couple of friends who actually are pretty darn successful at it, and they just, I don't know, man, it's their jam. They love it. But it seems like the people who are really buying the NFTs are the other artists who have, accounts in NFTs. It's not like the public is looking at your artwork and finding it to buy it.
Right.
So if you weren't making art that kind of fit that genre of what they were drawing in, then people kind of like, I'm not interested in your work, right? So you never sell anything. So, oh well, it was fun.
Yeah, I didn't get in it because of the ethical concerns. Like, I wanted to go into conservation when I was younger. I just couldn't, like, agree to that. But people are gonna do what people are gonna do. Like, it's their life.
Yeah.
that's how I viewed it. They can do what they want.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah. So but this seems a little bit more, reasonable. You can tip on it, and you can, and it's just people who like to collect, first run art.
Yeah,
so
that's super
I'm kind of
cool.
thinking this would be fun, and I'm going to start doing some live streams and seeing what happens and seeing if that clears and whatnot thing. And it's not NFTs, it's just, PayPal.
Yeah, that's really neat.
So that was a thing, but apparently Tim, who's with Rocky Mountain Con, wants to kind of, next year when we start cycling through to Rocky Mountain Con, he kind of wants to get the people who do that together and do like a group live draw at Rocky Mountain Con where all the proceeds go to charity.
Oh, that's so cool. That's
and I was
really
like, that
idea.
would be fun. And so I'm thinking I've got about a year before we get there. So we'll see if I can build an audience of any sort. So either way, that is kind of cool. And it also could be a good source of revenue if it works. Not sure.
Yeah, I think it's worth a shot. Everything's worth a shot.
I mean, the worst case scenario, we run the system and it doesn't work. You know what I mean? I do a couple of live draws at night and nothing really happens. That's like the worst case scenario. So it's a thing. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, that was an interesting discussion that had happened throughout the con. The Saturday was interesting. I met a couple of people who were Trekkies. I met one guy who was from Canada, and he just spent like 30 minutes going, well, how did you solve this problem in Star Trek? And how did you, knowing that my comic was a reskin of Star Trek, he was like, well, how did you solve these problems and those problems and these other problems over there? And I was explaining, well, I had expanded the universe out quite a bit. And the best part about that was, that I solved this problem, but then there were all these other great problems that would become great stories, other conflicts that were wonderfully that had popped up. And he was like, this is incredible. I want to get involved in all of this, And so he's going to be following me now. I think he joined on Global Comics. So he'll be reading it over there. He wants to buy the set, but he wants to wait until I have 2 episodes out, which is fine. That's totally reasonable. Right now, I'm not doing very much work at all because of all of this digitizing that I'm trying to do. But if the whatnot thing works and I actually start getting a little bit of extra money in here, that might not be bad. That might be a good supplementary income that would require very little preparation on my part. All I need to do is I've been thinking about doing maybe my watercolors and seeing if they sell.
Yeah, that's just kind of what I was thinking. Is I'm like, those have always done really well for you, and I would wager that there's a market for that, because I mean Star Trek is experiencing like a resurgence with all these like newer shows and stuff that are coming out, so I would definitely do
That's what I
that.
was thinking too. And since it's my artwork and I'm just kind of doing fan work, it's the same thing as all the other artists. They're doing fan work too. And but I mean, when I
Mhm.
looked on there, it's a whole bunch of artists doing Superman and Batman. And so if I went in there with spaceships, at least I would have either I would corner a market or nobody would care.
Mhm.
But either way, it would be interesting.
Either way, yeah. Well, you'll get noticed if anything, right?
You're right. I'll get noticed. People will be like, "Is that guy painting spaceships?" Weird. Like, my friends don't think this is weird. My friends who know me.
We didn't think it was you painting spaceships that was weird.
Right? I stopped painting.
Yeah, but we know how Trekkies are with their collectibles, so I imagine it like your work would be appealing
Right?
to them.
And I also think that, I could do requests and things like that. Highest bidder gets the request and stuff like that. That was something that apparently some of the other guys do. And, they'll start the stream up and they'll have just a blank piece of paper and go, whoever's got the highest bid or highest tip. Anybody who tips $10, or the highest tip or whatever, I don't know, something like that. There's apparently mechanisms in here. I just don't know all the mechanisms yet. But yeah, I think that'd be fun. And the only problem I'm holding me back is it seems kind of intense. You know what I mean? Like, you've got an hour, you have to do this in an hour, and they're going to bid on it in an hour. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems really intense. I don't think I can go from a blank sheet of paper to a full watercolor in an hour. So I'm thinking I might do a printout of one of my previous line arts and then watercolor that. I think I can do that in an hour.
That's a good idea. I think that's a good happy middle ground.
I also think that I have a hairdryer, but it's plugged in on the other over there on the other circuit, and I think I need to plug it in on this circuit and hope that it doesn't blow a trip breaker. But I think I need to move the hairdryer over here too, so that I can dry the paint. Because otherwise, one of the things that takes forever with watercolors is you lay down some of the paints, and you have to wait an hour or so. Because if you lay down the other paints, they blend, and then you don't want them to blend, and So maybe I'll get that hairdryer and move it over here, and I can just, that'd be fun. These are all things I'm thinking about, guys. Anyway, I think this would be fun. How are you doing, Brad? I didn't ask whether you're over there working, but I'm not seeing your screen, so I don't know whether you're.
Oh.
You don't have to share your screen. That's totally fine. I just was suddenly realizing that I'm not asking you if you need help or anything.
No, actually, I think I'm at a point where I was gonna see what you think, because
I might add, by the way, that Jackson actually is a representative for Clip.
Oh wow, okay.
So
yeah, I've done some residencies and webinars and stuff for Clip Studio and Graphics League. So if you need anything or have any questions,
and Jackson's the one that has been beating me about the head and shoulders to use vector instead of being on.
I haven't been beating you too hard now.
No, but I mean, totally, every time I'm an idiot and don't do vector, Jackson's the one that gets on me. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'll share the.
And I'll bring it on up here and.
Oh, entire screen. That's what I was doing.
How does that go, you fool?
All right, see if that shows up.
I can't do an ease my voice.
That works.
Okay. Hold on.
So, Brad's on the conversion side. He's still working on converting over from Illustrator.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've got kind of he starts on Illustrator and then imports it in as an SVG. to try to get the line work into clips so that we can work on it from there to get the, to do the nice tools like the adjust line width tools and stuff like that. So that's kind of where Brad is at this point, just to kind of give you a little bit of background. But
we never figured out the SVG though.
You want to be able to edit. You want to be able to like edit your line art and stuff with like as vectors in Clip Studio.
Yeah,
and we never got SVG to work, so what we ended up doing,
I'm not sure if you could do that in Clip Studio, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, what we ended up doing was taking a PNG and then just doing the line trace in Clip, which worked. That did the job.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. That probably would be your better bet, is to do like the extract line tool. Let me see if there's a way to do that with vectors. I don't know off the top of my head because I don't do that often, but let me double check and see if there's something in the newer versions.
Yeah, since we're talking about 2.0.
Let's see here. Bring up my manual.
That's what I was going to fix. I've done a whole lot of erasing and making lines and connections, so at least I'm learning that.
Yeah. Although that's messier than I thought it would be. I'm just looking at your zoom in there.
Yeah.
Messier than I thought it would be.
And I think it's because from Illustrator, I don't know how it would do this. I really am not sure. I guess I'm kind of guessing. Because it's the PNG. Well, let's see, isn't it in here? Let's see, there's the PNG. Should show it over the top, right? Oops. Oh, I probably need to zoom out. Yeah, I'm like way off. That's why. To find out where I'm at. PNG file, right?
Okay, there is a way to convert raster layers into vector layers, but I'm not sure if it'll end up the way that you want it to, but there is a way you can do it.
Yeah, it's the convert layer function. We did that.
Okay. You did try that?
Yeah, that's what we actually are doing. So we'd bring it in as PNG, but see what we're fighting with is the lines are dirty. That's kind of what we're having a problem with. Like these were really straight lines in Illustrator, and they've come in here dirty.
Yep.
With lots of extra line work and lots of extra chatter.
Yeah.
And they're on monochrome layer?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, a lot of chatter in there.
Missing
lines and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's pretty loose. And like right here was really weird because that was her knee. Great. I actually have them different sizes, so I guess you can't.
It's all right.
Back to the mouse.
Oh, that is really strange.
So if you zoom in on this one, you see her knees nice and solid and thick, but when it transferred it down here, you go back out.
Yeah.
Oh, it just made it all messy like this.
So weird, it like mangled that section.
Yeah.
Oof.
And some of it I like, so because it does give it more of a natural, like somebody literally hand sketched it.
Yeah, it's true. That is
But-
true.
So it's either I go with it and just I've been cleaning it up, or I completely go back and
I
start
would just
over.
go with it because, like, honestly, I didn't even notice. I'm serious. I didn't even notice it until you started pointing those things out. I mean, granted, like, I can only see it at a certain scale, but like, I didn't even notice
Yeah.
really that much until you started out. So,
And
I
I
mean,
agree. It
realistically,
actually does kind of.
yeah. Like, realistically, like, how close, like, how big are people gonna see this? Like, is it really gonna make that big a difference?
Well, it'll probably be the size of this, which is can't see my own screen back there. That's a 16 by 24.
Yes, people might notice, but I mean, most people,
see it.
like, unless they're artists, aren't gonna look for that.
The biggest problem I'd be worried about is when we get to filling it in.
Oh, closed gap tool, easy peasy. Like when you have a selection tool, or you have like, there's a very specific like selection fill brush, and it has like a closed gap tool embedded into the tool. Like, I'll grab that for you. It's super amazing. I'll
And
grab
that's
that
okay.
asset for you.
Yeah, and that'll actually be okay here because in like this one, which where do I have that one? Don't I have it on a
There's also a lasso fill tool, which I absolutely adore for flatting.
Let's see. Where's my dude? Here he is. This is the.
Because I'm the same way. I don't close off my liner when I do my lines, so I have the exact same problem. And this like special fill tool has made my life so much easier.
Yeah. Well, I'm seeing this is what I'll end up doing is I'm going to do the day dot style.
Ah, that's cool.
And so it'll actually be just a solid white because I'll keep the theme. So I don't need to worry about fill. Like in here, yeah, I went and fill, but I just made a layer. I just made a layer underneath and painted it right up to the edge of the lines.
Right, let me find that tool here for you because it's amazing.
Oh, hey, next time you do the layer underneath there, Brad.
Yeah.
If there's no leaks on the outside edge, a secret thing that I will do is add a layer of white and then select around the outside edge of everything and then just hit delete. That way I don't have to paint all the way up there to the edge. It's something I do a lot with my artwork too.
Oh, it mean for the master outside perimeter.
Yeah, you had the white underneath it.
Yeah.
Just select the outside and then hit delete on a, fill, take a layer, fill it with white, go on to your line work layer, select the outside edge, then go back down to the white layer and delete, and it'll just wipe out all the white that's surrounding it,
Yeah. Yeah, gotcha. Turn that one off. Gotcha. Let's get my pen tool back here. Let's stick this.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that link in here, like just in our little chat. Here's the asset link for it. Oh, and there's like a little video to demo how it works. It's really, really cool.
Can you see that there, Brad? Came up in the private chat. Yeah, it's there.
Oops.
No, that's the audience. So it should be in
there. It is. Private chat.
Yeah.
I gotta scroll down.
There we go. That one right there.
Link.
And then you just click that link and it'll take you to the asset thing. And And that's a fill tool.
Cool. Free download.
Yep. So what'll happen is it'll download, and then in Clip Studio you will open your materials panel. You'll go to the download section, and then you can drag that new tool that you've downloaded. It'll have like a little thumbnail. You'll drag that thumbnail to whatever like brush or pen dock that you want to put it in, and it'll put it there for you, and then you can use it.
Cool. All right. I'll grab that later. That's awesome. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's like one of my favorite tools, honestly, because I do black and white, mostly, but like if I need to flat whites really quick for like, to like be over the background or whatever, it's super quick. Even with like my super loose inks, like it still works.
Very cool.
Because my lines are kind of like yours, like I don't always close them off.
Well,
or at least the ones that I'm seeing here, I don't.
Yeah, no, and normally I actually do more of that very clean, solid lines and everything. Partly because I just got into Illustrator and I just really liked it, and then I stayed with it. So I'm always drawing in vector. And
interesting.
As opposed to having to convince me to get out of raster.
Yeah.
Honestly, I still do the raster thing. That's because when I do it with vectors, like what I do is I'll do everything in raster first, and then I convert to vector afterwards.
Right.
After I'm done, because when I try to draw with vector, like it tries to correct the line for me, and I hate that. It's like it's 1 pixel over from where I put it. I don't like it.
That's very specific.
Right? So I'm like, let me just draw this as I want, and then usually what I'll do is I take my line art layer. Like I'm really good at merging my line art layers now. Like merging down my layers. Bradley, if you don't know, I'm one of those people where like like 1 page of my manga will have like 300 layers in it. I'm one of those horrible people.
Oh, nice.
and none of them will be labeled.
Yeah, none of them have names. I'm getting better about at least I'm grouping them together so that I know, like, oh, this is this character, this is this character, this is this character. Like, I'm getting better at it, but, like, after I'm done, I'll sort of, like, I'll grab all of the different line art layers, and then I'll make a copy of them all, merge them together, and then make that the vector layer. That way I have a vector version and my original version. Which, I mean, it doubles up my line art, but now I have a copy of it somewhere else, just in case I bork it when I'm editing it. I have a copy of my original line art somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, guy, I almost had a heart attack. So I was going through and cleaning up my files, like getting them off my computer, because my computer is a gaming computer. It's not meant for a lot of storage.
Right.
So I was cleaning it off, and I went to move chapter 2 over to my storage drive because I don't need my current chapter 1 and chapter 2 anymore because I'm rebooting it after all the feedback that I got. So I'm going to moving over my folder, and I'm like, let me just make sure that they're fine. So I go to open chapter 2, and it won't open.
Uh-oh.
It's telling me, oh, it's misplaced, and I'm like, what?
Did it fall?
Literally
that you moved it thing, and now it can't find the pointers or something?
No, it was even worse. I had when I was cleaning out my cloud, I had accidentally like written over my finished drawings with the sketches.
Oh
boy.
So, because I did my sketches on my drawing tab on my Samsung, and then I imported it onto my computer via the cloud, so that way I could finish it on my Cintiq. And then I realized, like, I'm somewhere where I was updating things. I must have updated like I must have downloaded the wrong file, and I was freaking out. And I was like, "Oh my god, what do I do? What do I do?" I had no idea what to do. And so, like, I messaged my agent. I'm like, "Listen, Vane, you need to help me. I just lost 23 pages of manga, and I'm gonna cry."
right.
And he's like, "That's okay. You can go into your temp files, and there should still be a version of the original, the original CMC should still be in your temp files. like with the date that you last edited it. Do you know when you last finished it? I'm like, yeah, like in June. So he's like, okay, go to your temp files in this folder and look for something from June. And there it was. So
Wow.
like it was in my temp file. So basically what I had to do is I had to take the temp file CMC, import it into like the original folder to replace the old CMC, and it basically like updated the individual page files with like that CMC's data.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I was like gonna cry because I thought I had just lost like 4 months worth of manga work. I was about ready to start bawling my eyes out. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that would do it.
Oh man, that's real.
Yeah, so I learned about temp files.
There you go. Like,
and I cleaned out my cloud that day. I'm like, just delete everything. Like, I don't care. Like, I went and made sure, of course, everything would open and double check everything.
Mhm.
And then I moved everything off because, oh my gosh, just absolutely crazy. And like, the same thing almost happened with Onami. Like, I would like my one shot when I'm redoing Onami for the one shot for Viz. Surprise. So like as I'm redoing it, like the same thing happened. You know, like I was at my dad's house, I couldn't take my workspace with me, so I was using my Samsung, and I threw it over into my my cloud, and I went to download it, and I thought, oh, well, let me update it. Well, instead of going to uploaded it, I downloaded it.
oh no.
And like, thank God I could stop it right away, and it canceled it. Like, but I caught it. I was like, oh my god, no, wrong button.
Right.
So, oh my gosh. I mean, thankfully it was still sketches anyway, because he saw she saw and didn't want me to submit a finished work. He wanted me to submit just the name. Bradley, if you don't know what name means in manga terms, it's like the layouts. It's the initial draft, like first draft of like the storyboards.
Okay.
So like the reason why they have you submit that is that way it's less work to redo it.
There you go. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, so basically like he had me submit my name, which my storyboards, and then gave me the feedback based on that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, and like it was crazy weird like sending that, because I was like, there's no way he's gonna understand this. And he goes, you know, you made them a little too detailed. And I'm like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, you don't need to do this much detail. And I'm like, I felt like it wasn't gonna be enough. He's like, oh no, this is almost too much. And I'm like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been an experience.
Yep. I am trying to figure out. I'm building page 1. I really want this layer to be underneath the other layers, and it's trying to interact with the layers, and I'm like, no, don't interact. Just be fine. Be fine. Stop doing that. Oh well.
So, what are you doing? Miso. Don't look at me like that. He's like, I'm not doing anything.
Me? I would never do that. Why would I do that? There we go. That's what I'm looking for.
Miso. Yeah. Nice. You mad that I'm ignoring you? Because I'm trying to work and get caught up. Oh my god, I had to renew my passport today.
Oh no.
So like the post office, like the passport office here, the one that is at the county clerk's office, is only open from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. That's it.
What?
Wow.
Right? That's what I said. Oh, you okay, Miso? You okay? Yeah? Okay, you're good. So she, like, hit her head on my printer.
Yeah, I
And
heard
she was jumping down. That's what that noise was. That was her head hitting the little printer tray. Silly cat. Anyway, so like I look online and it says they won't, like, you can't renew in person, you have to renew only by mail. And I thought, okay, like that's fine. But then the website said if it's being expedited, you can renew there. So like I make my appointment and I go in and I'm like, they're redoing my stuff with me. And I'm thinking this is great, this is cool, like I'm having, because I've already done my passport stuff once.
right.
And I messed it up. Like I borked it. I borked the address. So, because I live on a street with Ave. I thought Ave was short for Avenue. No, it's just Ave.
Oh,
There's
that-
no Avenue. It's just Ave.
everybody
right?
knows that.
And so they rejected my passport
oh wow.
after I paid $209 to expedite it. They rejected it. So so they sent it back to me, and they're like, hey, like there was some mistakes on your form, like you need to correct them, and so like I got everything back, and so anyway, so I go in. That's why I went into the office this time, is that way I could do it right this time and make sure it wasn't going to be messed up.
Yeah.
So we get all the paperwork filled out. Like I have my photo, I have my old passport, like it's within the 5-year period, so I can still renew it versus asking for a brand new one. And then she says, oh, well, we can't ship it from here, like you still need to go to the post office. And I'm like, then why did I come here?
Yeah.
Like, am I paying you $35 to help me fill out a form? You kidding me? It gets better. So like, I spent an hour there, like waiting for my turn and getting all my paperwork done, making sure I had the right form, like just going over everything. So then I go to the post office. There is one postman there, one, and like out of like 6 slots, there's one person. And I swear to God, he was the sloth DMV person.
Oh yeah.
I swear to God. And so like I'm there for like an hour, okay? Like it was in just over an hour, and I finally get up to the counter, and like I'm trying to explain to him I want to ship my passport, and he's like, well, is the passport already finished? Have you already finished your paperwork? No, I want you to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, it's already done. Okay, how do you want to send it? I'd like it expedited. Okay, you have to fill out this form. And so, like, okay, cool. So I put it in the little, like, express envelope, right? And then, like, I grab he hands me the little form. He's like, you need to fill this out and then get back in line. What? So I had to wait another 30 minutes in line after filling out 2 blocks of information, my address and then the address it's going to in Pennsylvania, and then I had to wait another 30 minutes, and I'm like, are you God? It took me an hour, almost like an hour and 45 minutes to like stand in line and send my passport off, and I'm praying to God I did it right this time. Because I have now paid over $400 for this stupid passport.
Wow.
Ugh, and I need it for work. So, because they want to send me to conventions and stuff. So, like, I need to have a valid passport to be able to travel.
Right.
And I'm like, please, Jesus, don't make me do this again.
Right.
I mean, like, thank goodness, like, work is paying for my passport. But dang it. Like, I don't want to do that again. And, like, the last time I was there, it took me maybe 20 minutes to get in and out of the post office. Like, that's all I was expecting. Like, I was like, oh, sorry, boss. Like, I'll be, like, about an hour late. I gotta go do this and go around the post office. And he's like, okay, cool. Like, no big deal. Like, an hour and a half later, where are you? I'm still in line. Are you kidding me? It was, oh my God, just crazy day today. Oh my goodness. That was all the day, and so I'm like,
This is what I did today. Nothing.
I stood in line at the post office today, and like literally everyone was just like complaining in line. It was like everyone was just so mad because like you had to step aside just to fill out like a little form, and they'd make you get back in line. And so everyone was like, "What form do I need? What form do I need?" Like filling it out while they're waiting in line. It's like crazy. I think it's because we have like a military base nearby, and so like they're just tired of people's shit. I think that's what it is. I think these couriers are just broken, and they're like, "No, we're done."
Sounds like it.
All kinds of crazy stuff. Oh my god, Thanksgiving is next week.
I know.
I'm not ready.
I am working the whole week.
Same.
I'm also
Wait,
working.
no, I do get Thursday off. I do get Thursday off.
Which, so far, every time I pinch hit in Denver, it's
Mhm.
been a rougher class. And that's kind of a bummer.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
I think
the kids are. I'll always have a bunch of the boys who are, you know, they're noisy and they're just playing games with one another instead of paying attention in class and stuff like that.
makes you worry for the future.
And so I already have a plan for this. I'm not going to tell them this straight away, but I'm going to make sure that one of my seats stays open. I'm going to call it the hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
And when one of the kids misbehaves, I'm going to move him to the hot seat. And then I will say, all right, anybody else misbehaves, moves to the hot seat. And then he goes, oh, do I get to go back in? No. That's, you get ejected. So if you replace the kid in the hot seat, the kid that's in the hot seat gets kicked out of the class. And has to come back for another run later on.
Damn.
That way, because they're
No.
usually all from the same school.
Oh. Peer pressure.
Right. Wield the peer pressure against the kids.
Mm-hmm. That's like drill sergeant stuff right there.
Yep. Well, you can have one of two different versions of me. You can have the fun version that tells stupid stories and makes stupid jokes and is at least entertaining, or you can have that version. Which
Mhm.
way do you want to go? You know, it's like,
Right?
which choice do you want to make here?
Only you get to choose which version of guy you have today.
Yep. As I say, there are two versions here. There's the version where the students are more mature than I am, or there's the version where I'm more mature than the students. And trust me, you want the one where they're more mature than me.
Mm-hmm.
A much, much, much better choice.
All right, well, I got to call it quits for the night.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Take it
We're
easy.
at 10:21, so I got about 30 minutes, and then we'll roll this out too. But I'm still dinking with stuff. So,
Yeah,
but thanks for joining me, Brad. I appreciate it.
that was great. Great to meet you too, Jackson.
Yep, take it easy. It's nice to meet you.
You have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Night night. And now it is down to you, and it is down to me and my onion skin,
Yeah, onion skins.
which has moved. How did my onion skin move? Jeez Louise. All right. I'm going to use the maquettes that come with clip. We're going to try this game. See whether this works or not. I'm on my ink layer, so I don't get yelled at.
I wouldn't do that to you.
I know,
I wouldn't
right?
embarrass you in front of all your friends.
Yeah, right?
Unless you want me to.
I hate to say this, but that particular friend, I have done far more embarrassing things because she's a high school buddy.
Oh, yeah. They know your deepest secrets.
Yeah, so honestly, there's very little that you could do that would do any worse
Than what you've already done.
than I've already done.
Yeah, that's funny.
And she and I went to high school together, so there's that.
It's adorable. I don't think I talked to anyone that I went to high school with. Which is kind of sad.
It's kind of sad.
Well, I think part of the problem is like my first high school. I was there for 3 years, but I was very unpopular.
Right.
You know, I was the person that boys would ask out as a dare.
Oh,
I was like, yeah,
yeah.
that's the kind of person I was in high school. So, and then I moved between my junior and senior year. So like, I think it's just that a lot of them just don't remember me because I wasn't there for that last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's all it was, honestly. Yeah, and then like at my new school, like where I graduated from, wasn't around people long enough to like be memorable. Like, I didn't really
funny
do.
because like you're very
Yeah.
memorable to me.
I
Like
was,
you know,
but
but-
I was also a different person. Like I was bitter and like I was angry that like my mom had moved me like literally across the country to a brand new school for my senior year.
fair.
So like I probably wasn't the nicest person that particular year just because I was like stressed out, and also like I had planned to like go into music or do something with that, and I had basically been cheated out of like my senior year doing music. So like, you know, I was a piccolo player, right? Like that was my primary thing.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
When I got to my new school, like at my old school, like you could do marching band as an option, like it was optional. At the new school, if you wanted to do concert band, you had to do marching band in the fall, like it was obligatory. So, and because it was basically marching band during like football season, and then after football season, then marching band became concert band. And then they had 3 different levels of like concert band. They had like the upper wind symphony people, and then like the symphonic band, which is like the average people, and then like the concert band, which is like the newer people or those that are only doing it because they have to, or
Mhm.
just don't care. Those groups. So like, but as a piccolo player, basically what they had us do is they had those of us who wanted to play piccolo like do a blind test. Like I don't know how familiar you are with how like chair ranking works in music.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
It's the same thing that Malcolm Gladwell was talking about with getting rid of bias.
yeah, that's exactly what it's for. So basically what they did is they put us behind a wall so that you couldn't see who was playing. I won, I ranked the highest in the blind test. Which shouldn't be a surprise considering in my old school, I had been in honors bands, I'd been in like the symphonies, the theater, like the pit crew band, like marching band, like piccolo was my thing, and I'd been doing like double and triple A solo, so like I was pretty good at it. So I wasn't shocked that I placed higher. And then like a few days later, I saw the ranking had changed, and they had given their piccolo player the high level band seat.
Yeah.
Even though I beat her in the blind test. And when I asked the director, I'm like, why did you do that? Like, I have a photo proof showing that I was supposed to be in the Wind Symphony. He says, well, she has a better quality piccolo, and we know her better. She knows us better. We need a piccolo player who knows us.
Yeah, that.
I'm like,
Mhm.
this is my 6th year on piccolo. It's my 6th year on piccolo. It is her 2nd. Like, I'm very clearly the better player, and I won that fair and square. And that was sort of like my first experience with with this.
With the
I
bias,
the bias. I was like, I was naive enough to go, well, I won.
right?
Why would you cheat me like that? And I was here's what made it even worse. I think me going to the director made it worse, because initially I had been given the top chair in the middle band. Well, the next day I was second chair.
Right. You were knocked down too.
And what made it worse is when it comes to flutes and piccolo, the top ranking flute gets the piccolo spot if they want it. And then it goes down the chain until somebody wants it. Well, the girl who was put ahead of me wanted the piccolo. So I never got to play piccolo in my senior year.
Yeah, that's
I
brutal.
hated flute. I hate flute. I hate it. But I like piccolo, which is hilarious. But I went through it. I finished it. By golly, like I finished it. And then by the end, I got the last laugh though. By the end of the year, I got the last laugh, because at the end of the year, the Wind Symphony, like the high level band, their spring concert, they just happened to play my favorite song that I played with my old band. So they just happened to play the same piece, and that's Undertow by John Mackey.
Mhm.
And it has a really fun like beat. It's a 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2, so it alters. It's a very, very fun time signature. And so there's a piccolo solo in it. And during the concert, when the time came, silence. And I went, yes. That's what you get for putting a rookie piccolo player in there. And like, I hate being bitter, but like,
On the same token,
like, yeah, like the one friend that I had in school was like sitting next to me. She was also a flute player, and she says, "Kat, don't say anything." And I'm like, I don't have to. I don't have to. We all know what just happened.
Yep.
So that was. So I hate being bitter, but it was frustrating. It was like that was my thing, was being the piccolo player. Like I was like immature enough to like make that my whole personality back then.
Sure.
You know, like I've grown out of that, but like still it was frustrating to have like that one thing that I was really good at, because I wasn't drawing at the time. I didn't have art as like a thing that I did.
Right. You didn't have that as backup.
Yeah, so the only other thing that I had is I was really good at science and math and Spanish. Like those were things I was good at, but they weren't like degrees or paths I was gonna follow other than animal science. You know, like that was an option, but I'd also been considering a path in music. And when I went through this whole experience, I quit music. Like ever since like that last concert, I've never picked up a piccolo again.
Oh.
I've never picked it up. In fact, like I don't even have my piccolo anymore. I donated it to school.
Sad though.
Yeah. I mean,
that's just that's kind of like, it is in a lot of ways, I'm sure, like the math story that I've got, you know, where I just had a bad teacher, turned me off of math, and now I just absolutely do not believe that I can do math if I tried, sort of thing, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure if I like sat down and like picked up my piccolo again, I'm sure I could get that skill.
It wouldn't take long. Yeah.
But like, and I miss it. I miss it a lot. Like that was my introduction to storytelling. So like my band director, like at my main school, we had the same band director. We had 4 schools at that school. We had you know, like elementary, middle, elementary, intermediate, middle, and high. And he taught music at all of them and homeschool. Like he did everything. I don't know what this. He must have had a time turner or something.
Yeah, right.
But he did it all. And his name was Mr. Crumb, and I will always remember him because he looked like the Pringles man, and his name was Mr. Crumb. always remember him. But what he would do is we would listen to the music with no sheet music. So we would just listen, and he'd be like, okay, like write ideas, like write what you're thinking of, and then like individually, like piece by piece, we would go over like what the composer's notes were, what their like intentions were, like what the story is of the song, and like the most or like original playing that he could find, to see like what the piece used to be versus all the different renditions of it over time, like its debut playing if he had a copy of it or if he could find one, or whatever he deemed the best playthrough of it was. But yeah, so like I learned, but anyway, what we would do is we would go through each song measure by measure and like make a story of all the songs that we chose for that particular concert. And so like that was my introduction to storytelling, was music, not writing, not like normal English.
Right.
So, like, I've continued to keep that with me through learning animation and doing comics and like understanding rhythm and pacing and like the emotions that go behind that. Like, I still use like the sound of storytelling in my comic work. At least I try to. So sometimes I wonder where Mr. Crumb is. I know he's retired, but I don't know anything else other than that. But yeah, I miss music a lot, and sometimes I wish I could find a band to go play with. But with what time?
Right. Well, and maybe that's something that is later in your life.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not today's piece of that's not today's story of your life, if you will. Maybe that's tomorrow's.
I've thought about making a manga about playing music.
Sort
of like telling that
Rule
story,
36.
Rule 36?
Yeah. So you know what Rule 34 is, right?
Yeah.
Rule 36 is if it exists, there's an anime of it.
Oh, yeah, probably. I'm sure there's something out there like it.
Totally, like that's something that I discovered was that, like, I mean, like that happened. Really, I decided that whenever I finally started watching Tsurune, which is all about Kyudo, and I'm like, really?
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Nobody knows about my martial art yet. There's an anime of it.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that's true.
It's so funny too because we were watching it. My kid and I were watching it, and I was actually really pleased because my kid was actually really engaged and watched the whole thing, and I was so proud of them. Because it, there's a lot of interpersonal stuff and talking and things like that. But it starts out kind of acting very much like Kyudo is just archery. Just keep aiming at the middle of the target and stuff. And and so it was like, I kept watching it going, they never in my dojo mentioned the target at all, except to look at it. You're supposed to but you're not supposed to, they don't even expect you to hit the target. They don't expect that. And so, because it's a Zen thing, it's all about Zen. And so it was like, it was so weird. It was like, and then I'm like, this seems so out of whack with the way I learned Kyudo. And then about halfway through the series, it starts bringing in the Zen elements and all of those pieces that I remember learning whenever I was in the dojo. And I was like, see, now it's starting to act more like, like I was like, the people who wrote this probably weren't in a real Kyudo dojo. I was like, but then as it got further along, it was more about the calming of the spirit, calming of the centering of the body, and relying on the feel and the position of your body rather than relying on where your eyes are looking on the target and stuff like that. And I was like, that sounds more like
muscle memory. Yeah, like once you find it, replicate that and center yourself. Yeah.
So that was cool. It was nice to see, and I enjoyed it, and it was nifty. But yeah, that started my Rule 36. Rule 36 is if it exists, there's an anime of it. So, just saying, it seems perfectly reasonable for you to do an entire manga about Piccolo playing. because you just fit right in on Rule 36, right there.
Like, yeah, like that one Piccolo player. Oh my god, that's me! I play Piccolo too! Something like randomly obscure, like Piccolo
Right?
playing.
It'd be so funny.
Oh, how did I miss this one? How did I miss that? Ooh. You're good. Sorry, I'm doing article stuff for work, and I missed an article on my list. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like blogs that I'm going through right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I missed one.
I have the one picture of this particular character up here, and I'm like just trying to match her outfit. Because her outfit's cute. I like her outfit. I really was having fun that particular day.
Yeah, it looks adorable.
Yeah,
from
I was
here.
having fun with her that day, and she came out really cool. And so now I'm just trying to replicate, because this is the original right here.
Hi, Miso.
Because they have all these extra characters that are extra stories and stuff like that, and extra pieces of the comic and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I really wanted to just do this one, which is a story of her. But yeah, her eyes are still too close together up here. That's fine. I can fix that. She really has like a cute, like really cute little squished face almost. So I'm gonna move you up here. Yeah, so I wrote this story a while back, and I really like it. And it was just one of those things. I got a wild hair one morning and didn't really want to work on work, so I started drawing a picture, and I drew this picture of this girl, and she was like a singer of some sort. You know, she was clearly some kind of pop star sort of character, and so I started kind of drawing her and sketching her, and then since I was live feed streaming, I was talking to Brent, and we just sort of developed this story about her. And you know that there was this singer on Gallon Fair, which is one of my worlds, and she was a very popular singer, and she got a degenerative nerve disease that started to cripple her. And so this robotics company built a robotic body for her. And she lived for another like 5 or 6 years with that robotic body before the body gave out and got even more popular. And then when she finally died, they built an AI simulacrum of her who still sings to this day on Gallon Fair. So the simulacrum's an AI. And so I was just like, I really like this story. It's kind of heart-wrenching and sad, but it's also somewhat science fiction-y in that, you know, here's this, effectively, like I was saying before with Brad, here's this Elvis impersonator, right? Right? You know, Elvis is going to die, so they make an AI impersonator of Elvis. But then I was like, oh, but the real story here is what happens when the AI doesn't want to do the original songs anymore. Right? So this is the story there where she's written this song and nobody likes it. So the AI wrote this song and nobody likes it. And she's like, it's because I'm a different person. I mean, I'm supposed to look like her. I'm supposed to sound like her, but I'm an actual different life form.
Yeah.
And so, and that's, you know, of course, in Bellatrix Rising, the AIs are a completely different life form. and they gave permission because the singer was so popular. The AIs gave permission to make a simulacrum, which is in violation of a number of laws. But this particular character was so beloved and um, so loved by everyone that the AIs allowed one breach of that law. But the problem, of course, is that she can't create new songs because she doesn't have the magic.
Right, yeah. She's not actually that being.
Yeah, she's not actually the person. And that's what this little 4-pager is about. But it was really hard to shove all that information in here.
I bet, yeah, and just it's just a short thing.
I've got only 4 pages to kind of go through this,
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do is it's just this little 4-pager of, here's this girl, or at least a simulacrum of a girl, who is just trying to write her own work, and she can't. She just doesn't. It's not the same. It doesn't inspire people, and it doesn't make them. And it's interesting because I can even go further with this if I really wanted to. Why? If anybody has the expertise on the original's music, it would be this simulacrum. This AI would be the one who knows more than anyone the heart and soul of these songs. And so I find that fascinating. I also find it somewhat statement-y to current stories about AIs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that there was a video on Twitter? So maybe you haven't seen it, but this guy was he had like this weird AI plugin or something added, and he was drawing on the left side, and on the right side the AI was creating a finished detailed piece based on the loose rough sketches that he was making on the left hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the AI was like live editing his work.
Oh God, that's just wrong. So scary.
Yeah, like basically like the version that he made looked like an MS Paint version of like what the AI made, which like which is fine. Like that's a pretty neat tool. Sure, that's a really fun toy to play with. But like, like this person is like actually really good artist. And so
right.
it was like all your the AI is literally just like feeding in, like it looked like the same AI stuff. Like it's the exact same thing. Like it basically took his work and sanitized it. And he's like, look how cool this is. And I'm like, but it doesn't look like your work.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah.
And terrifying. And really freaking terrifying. Kind of like this dress that's just the back part of a skirt and then hot pants, apparently. I'm like, okay. I don't know. I was sketching over here on this other one. I was like, I'm just going with this. I don't know where I'm headed. And now I'm looking and I'm like, okay, so she effectively just has like a skirt with hot pants. I'm not exactly sure how we got here, but okay. It's like, well, right. It's a little weird, but whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make it look space agey. It doesn't really matter because she's a simulacrum of the robotic body. not the actual body. And the robotic body was somewhat transparent. So, like, you could see through her skin to the robotic pieces inside. So, it's not like this is sexy per se. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just kind of like, well, that's interesting. I don't feel like I'm capturing the essence, though. Man, I'm getting sleepy over here. It's about time for me to go to bed,
Yeah,
too.
it's about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, we're at the last 10 minutes. It's called the Canstrom Shell, was the name of the body that she was given for,
Very pretty.
in the lore of this story.
Getting there.
Yeah, you're winding down too.
Yep, I'm at the end of 2022. basically, like, I realized that when I was going through and doing some, like, auditing, I realized that I had missed a bunch of articles, and a lot of things weren't marked as, like, the correct type of blog. And so now, basically, I'm going through every single blog we've ever made to make sure everything is marked correctly. And I'm going through all of the, like, all of the features. There's hundreds of them each year.
Right. So, a lot.
Yeah. So there's a minimum of 100. Some years there are 150. This year there's probably closer to 200. By the time we're done, or closer. Well, it'll probably be closer to. Let's see. Probably is going to be closer to 300 by the time we're done with 2023. So I'm trying to, like, get ahead because, like, the end of year is like, you know, like when we do all of our end of year rankings.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna have a lot of articles going out in December, and so I'm trying to get this audit done before then. That way it's smooth sailing through the end of the year, and I'm not trying to finish up the audit while I have an ass load of articles going out every day.
Right.
So
That's
and
totally fair.
you know, I'm in October of last year. I should be able to get through the rest of this year, or the rest of last year. It's trending. I'm ready for the end of year, though. I'm ready for it.
I'm ready to get rid of 2023.
Yeah.
I am over 2023. This has not been one of my better years.
I definitely can't say that, but it's just been a long year, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
It's been a long year.
Nah, I mean, Bellatrix Rising's done well on Global Comics, and that's great. I'm excited to see that. That's really cool. That makes me feel better, but still,
good.
It's been a rougher year than I think I wanted. So,
I don't think anyone wants a rough year.
right. You're not wrong. Or I expected, I guess. Rougher than I
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. Like, I'm trying to be, like, really grateful for all the cool stuff I've had happen this year, but, like, sometimes I don't want to be grateful. I just want to, like, complain about how tired I am all the time, how much stuff I have to do, but, like, I don't want to be ungrateful either.
Agreed.
Sometimes, though, I want to be. Sometimes I just want to complain about shit.
And sometimes I'm just going to complain. It's just going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, like the passport thing. I don't have to pay for it. And here I am complaining about getting a passport to go travel internationally to conventions and stuff. Here I am complaining. Like, oh my gosh, what a first world problem.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, like, you and me both. Like, I was just going to Metro and talking to this girl, and she was really cool. And one of the things she was like, oh, well, if you look in the anthropology section, one of the things they've got is Japanese study abroad in the anthropology. So it'd be in your major. And I was like, huh. So, like, I could study abroad in Japan.
Yeah.
You know, like,
that'd be
so
awesome.
And I'm sitting here going, but Metro. And I'm like, really, don't gripe about Metro. It's like, I need to get my and it's not, I'm not griping about Metro. I'm just stuck. You know,
Yeah.
that
It's
stupid
not what you wanted.
neurodivergent stuck. I can't seem to like that. The plan has changed, and it's freaking.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. I know that. I
And
know
it's
that
like it's
feeling.
not Metro. It's the Metro. It's not the college. It's the problem. It's that my plan has changed, and that's messed me up so badly.
Yep. That gets to me too. For like with the last 3 weeks, right? I had a plan to get God's Bane done and to
Right.
do stuff. And then like the one shot stuff happened and then the family stuff happened. And I've been going back and forth between like my house and dad's house, sleeping on a couch with no desk, no workspace, nothing to and so like neurodivergent brain just cannot handle
Right.
it.
Complete meltdown
Like
at that
every
point. You're just like, I'm out. I'm out.
yeah, I literally haven't worked on like I finished the one shot almost 2 weeks ago. I haven't drawn anything in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just
It's just overloaded. You were completely overloaded.
Yeah, I can't work on stuff. So like I did that's not true. I did one page. I did one page and it was a cover. And it was like a page that I was wanting to do for a really, really, really long time. And I just was like, I have to do this right now. Brain needs it. Like I just need to do the thing. And I was thankfully able to focus long enough to get that done, but now I'm like burnt out from that one page. It was just a little drawing and I'm all burnt out now and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna sleep now. And I slept 9 hours last night, which is unheard of for me.
Unheard of for
I
a lot of
never
us.
sleep that long.
Yeah, we don't do sleep very well, do we?
No, like I'm lucky to get 6 hours of sleep. Like to get 9 is crazy.
Right.
So yeah, like brain just got messed up. Like, and I'm like, how long am I gonna sit here and sulk about it before I get back to work? And like my workspace is now messed because I had to take my laptop with me to my dad's house and like my workspace at home is taken apart. I have to put it back together. Like my house is dirty because it's been like sitting here for 2 or 3 weeks with me not here. So like I'm just all kinds of
right.
Yeah, it's frustrating. So I'm like, just get through to the weekend. You don't have to do it right now. Wait till you get to the weekend. That way you can spend all day Saturday fixing it.
That's probably what I'm going to end up doing all day Saturday too. And laundry. Our washer is broken.
Yep.
And so I have to go to the laundromat temporarily. I need to it's like Mariah was going to get a new washer. And I was like, I think it's just slipping a belt. It's an older washer, so I feel like it doesn't have that many pieces to it. So I'm gonna wait for my best bud. He's right now deployed to Japan, but deployed.
Oh.
So he comes back from deployment Friday. So I figure he and I will just tilt the washer over on its side and look at the belts in the bottom and see if it's slipping a belt. But until then, I have to go to the laundromat, which is fine. There's these cool people at the laundromat, and I was actually kind of having fun talking to people, but that's me. And so that was kind of cool, but it does mean that that's my Saturday job.
Yeah.
And so, or my Friday job, I don't know. Probably my Friday job, just so that I don't have to deal with crowds. And then because I have to wash all of my work shirts because I'm working Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, yeah, you're not going to have a chance to go again.
Yeah, so I'm not going to have a chance. That's 5 straight days. Well, not totally 5 straight days because I'm not working Saturday again. But, yeah, so I'm working. So I need to make sure I have all 5 of my work shirts cleaned so that I can change. But it's going to be a run.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel with Saturday. It's like, all right, like what can we do until then to try to get a head start on some of these things? Like today, I cleaned up all my counters and like I finished all my dishes. Like the dishwasher's ready to go tomorrow, so at least I'll have all the dishes already done because that's easy. To like put stuff in the dishwasher and run it, but like the deep dusting, the sweeping, the mopping of like everything that like settled while I was gone. Like I gotta do all of that. Like, ugh. Not gonna enjoy it. Same thing with all my laundry. Like I have like I mean, I could have done the laundry at my dad's house, but like then I would have like their detergent mixed in, and like their detergent my body reacts to sometimes.
Yeah.
So like I would so like I would come back to my house to like go get more laundry instead of just washing it there. Like I didn't want to come here wash my laundry here and then like take it back to my dad's house, so I just kept coming back to like get more clothes occasionally. And so now I have all this laundry I have to do.
Right. And
I have to clean.
if I could body
clean up
double
my-
with you to laundry, then we could both go do laundry and just draw and talk. But no,
Yeah.
alas, that'd be a hell of a drive to come out here. I mean, you could if you really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean that'd be a really expensive batch of laundry.
Bad batch of laundry, but yeah, could be fun. Who knows?
Yeah, I actually do need to go to the laundromat though, so I can wash my blankets. My the washer dryer here is one of like the compact ones that stand on top of each other.
Yeah, I like.
So there's too small for my blankets.
Yeah. I kind of want one of those though. Tomorrow, however, I don't have anything really planned to go anywhere. That's good.
It's kind of a chill day tomorrow.
I mean, I have a lot of work to do, but it's here work. Like today was running around. I had a tribe meeting. There's this group called Tribe, which is just small businesses that get together and try to network and stuff. So we had a tribe meeting, and then after the tribe meeting, I went straight to Metro, and then after Metro, we had kiddos appointments that had to be done back to back, and then after that, we came back to just watch one episode of Loki. And that's all we could afford before poof, I'm back on stream. And so it's been one thing after another, after another, after another. And so I'm kind of looking forward to tomorrow being kind of laid back. And all I really have to do is just draw some, write some, and then I can, maybe nap in the afternoon or something ridiculous. Like, who knows?
I like that.
But like nothing stressful.
Yeah, good.
Super stressful, and that's cool. So
Stressful, not good.
right. So like it's cool. Anytime I just have drawing on my tablet or my docket, I'm pretty pleased. I'm gonna miss that when I go back to school, because school is not an art school this time. I'm going back to do something completely different that's not art related, and so I have.
Yeah, I'd be really busy.
Yeah, so I'm kind of worried.
Like,
Like
honestly, like my suggestion would be to like schedule it in, like even if it's just like 15 minutes, like here or there, 30 minutes here or there, an hour here or there, like schedule it in and see it as if it's something that like just helps you like calm and rest and whatever, like if you have to set it aside as like rest time. Like other people play video games, some people draw,
right.
Like that's what I honestly do, like during my day is I have a Pomodoro timer.
Yes.
And like I work for 50 minutes. I work for 20 minutes and then I have 10 minutes off.
Right.
Sorry, 5 minutes off. So I get 10 minutes a break every hour, with 5 of it every 25 minutes. So I work 25 minutes, I have 5 minutes off. That way, like I have a minute, like if my brain just like, oh, I have an idea, or like, oh, I need to like just look away for a second, I can go doodle for 5 minutes and like get back to work.
Yeah.
That works wonders for me.
It's actually a good plan. I think I'll do that. I mean, really my thought was that, well, and if this thing that I'm doing where I'm, where it works on Whatnot, if that works and I start making decent money, they were saying that the average person makes about 6,000 a month on Whatnot. Well, 6,000 a month would be
Wow.
great. That'd be enough to cover all
That's
my bills
crazy.
and like give me some savings every month.
That's gnarly.
So if that pans out,
That's cool.
I mean, and it's kind of like having an OnlyFans, but like, something like that where it starts paying off big if it does hit, without all of
when it hits, it hits.
without me having to take my clothes off, which I don't think can be paid for anyway. So there's that. But I think I would probably still call it my OnlyFans because it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I started making about $6,000 a month. Well, how'd you do that? I have an OnlyFans. Just I think that it would be particularly funny just to think about how these people's images that went through their brain for like a split second, and I'm like, you're welcome.
Nani? You just gotta sit there and you're like, what? What?
It would be really funny.
It would be. Let's be real.
Really good.
Just for the look of confusion, like just that alone would like make it worth it.
I know, right? Just that look right there would be just so worth it. But yeah, that would be cool. I mean, like the guys at the con, these are just normal. It's our people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that our people suck, but like it's our people who, they're our skill level, whatever that is. It's not like we're not talking about professional image artists or DC artists. It's our guys.
They're indie level people, and they're able to make income that way.
Which means that there is plausible possibility that I could make money out there doing that, and that would be really, really cool. I'd be all into that.
Yeah. I would look into something like that, but if this lettering gig goes through, that's going to take up like all of the very little free time that I have between everything else.
Yeah, well,
but it's good to know
of in case that generating thing, because right now, technically, I don't do anything during the week. I drive but I don't.
That's even better.
Yeah, I mean, like I drive with my school a little bit, but yeah, the problem is that I'm nervous. Like I was gonna do this. I was gonna start tonight and see, and there just wasn't time. So tomorrow I've got time and no real excuse.
Oh, so I see.
Nervous, so this is gonna all turn out,
I think it's better though. Like it's better to wait until like you feel more confident and you have that time. That way, if it doesn't go as planned, like you're not panicking because like you're already feeling unprepared or stressed.
Yeah.
Like you want to make sure you're in the best possible mindset when you jump into something like that because you don't know how it's gonna go. So I think that's fair. Like I wouldn't beat yourself up about it. Like I would just be like, okay, cool.
I'm not worried. I'm actually not worried about it so much as I notice that I'm kind of dragging my feet a little.
It's a new thing. It's scary, especially for neurodivergent brain.
Right. I mean, but I'll just get on there and do this, So I'm not horribly worried, but I'm a little worried, but not a lot,
I think it's fair though. I think it's fair to be worried.
Yeah. But it's not a showstopper worried, and I'm certainly not going to let it affect my abilities or anything like that. I'm just going to get out there and get cracking on it and get started and see what happens. See what kind of trouble I can get into.
Thanks for the warning.
Somewhere I've got a picture of a DY500, and I really should print that one out because that's one. It was a pretty picture and I liked it, and for some reason I just stopped working on it. I don't know why. And it was about to go to paint, and then I just stopped. I'm not sure what's going on in that one. So I'm going to look that one up and see if I can find that DY500. I've got a Daedalus that I was starting. That's an interesting one. I wonder why I stopped on the Daedalus. That's weird. See, that's the thing is like I really do think that's a niche, working on spaceships. Did I ever show you this wind-up picture I did?
I
should
don't
show you
think so.
the picture. Like a really wild picture. I just love here. Take a look at this.
Ooh, I love the dynamic
Right?
of that one.
I was so proud of myself on the dynamics of this.
That's awesome. Especially
Right.
like just like the composition, like channeling it to her as well. Like it just works really, really well.
Yeah, it turned out to be an excellent piece. Actually, somebody already wants to buy it. One of my
heck
friends
yeah.
saw it and said, I'll buy it. And so I
Yes.
said, I'm going to print it out and do it in watercolors first. And they're like, watercolors too? That's going to be so great. And I was like, okay.
Dang.
So
Look at
obviously-
you.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah, but I was just so proud of this. It's just such a ridiculous angle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
And-
definitely not something I would.
You want to know something even better? No maquettes.
What? Really?
Really?
Damn.
I had a reference picture of a girl doing the wind up, and it's off the reference picture. But
Do you think
yeah,
like
there's-
having worked with maquettes for so long, like not for so long, but like doing work with the maquettes, do you think that that's helping? Like you're able to just internalize it better?
It could be, yeah. Because I mean, like, there's the original underdrawing,
That's amazing.
right? And I wish I'd put the actual picture on here because I have to go find the stupid picture, but that's all right. It's not that hard to find the picture, but yeah, I was just no maquettes. I wanted to draw outside without maquettes and just see if I could find anything. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to just kind of get that push, and I've got a bunch of stuff in my morgue. And I was like, I'm gonna see.
You call your art graveyard the morgue.
Yeah, you should call it graveyard. So there's
I
that.
love that.
I mean, to be fair,
I mean, it is a morgue, like technically, it's an artist graveyard, so that's funny.
yeah, I mean, this is where I parked stuff, and I'm like, well, I was just trying to find like this one piece, and I moved it somewhere. But yeah, it was like, it was really. I'm trying to find it because I was actually kind of proud because like the piece didn't match. Like it's clear I didn't mimic the actual piece,
Mm-hmm.
Like, where did I put it? No, I've hidden it from myself just to make sure.
You were like in the zone and it just worked out perfectly.
Yeah, it just worked out so well. And I'm like, did we do this somewhere easy? No, I don't think we did. I love this. Some of the stuff that I've got in my morgue is great. Like just phenomenal art. And I'm like, I love this pose, or I love that pose, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, this is so good. And I can't find the pieces whenever I want to go reference them again. That's all right. I'll find it at some point. I'll keep poking around until I find it. But yeah, anyway, I was just very proud of that particular piece. It was just like so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. Honestly, like that's a difficult task. I think I definitely would struggle with something like that. I think though, yeah, I think a lot of like the maquette work that you've been doing, just you're starting to internalize that now, which is what should be happening.
Well, and I'm feeling like the maquettes aren't pushing enough. Like they're not dynamic enough. I can't seem to get in there tight enough. And you know what I mean? Like it feels like I can't. I don't know. I'm just not. It's not coming up the way I want it to. I say no, it wasn't one of those. So it's like that. I'm kind of glad that I'm kind of moving away from the maquettes, but it is still kind of one of those. You know, it did take a long time to get this piece and I kept pushing it out and pushing it out and pushing it out even more.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's not quite there. I need more. You know, I need to push this.
I find that I have to do that too. Like I usually have, if I use the maquettes, I usually end up having to push it.
which makes some sense, I guess. Maybe no, I feel like I didn't know who these people were.
Hi, Alfie.
Maybe it's in here. Did I move it in here? That'd be weird. Was it a cosplayer? I think it was a cosplayer. That's why I can't find it. No, wasn't a cosplayer. Fine.
Now neurodivergent brain needs
Right?
to go
I
find
can't
it.
stand it now. I gotta go find it now.
You finally put my trap card. You've activated my trap card.
Right? It's like, damn it, I gotta find this piece. It's somewhere. It's gotta be somewhere. How can it not be somewhere? So that's right. We'll find it. And then, finally, that's what I would be like, oh, good, now I can go to sleep. Because now I can't. I'm not going to be able to sleep until I find it.
I'm in March of this year now, so I'm like, okay, I only have like a few months left. So if I can hold on for like 30 more minutes, I can go to sleep and feel good about going
right,
to
that's
sleep.
the problem. You can't sleep if you're still trying to find something or do something. And I'll actually copy this into this picture so that I can brag about it for the most part. It's really what it boils down to. I just want to brag about it. But look at how cool I was. Sometimes I do these pictures and they are just really like, it's a leap above. And then I feel like I go back and drop back down afterwards. And it's kind of frustrating. Yeah. I'm like, I'll get this push and I'll push right over an edge and the edge will be so cool. And I'm like, oh, this is incredible. This is a complete departure from what I've done before. And then the next picture is just bland. It's the same thing I was doing before, but
it's like, how do I do that again?
Yeah. It's like, it shouldn't be lightning in a bottle. And it's like, it's so frustrating. Oh, that's why. It's just in the wrong folder completely. So here's the actual pose that I used.
Yeah, I can see how you pushed it even more.
Yeah, I pushed it even more. I brought her foot forward more. I really, but like I used this pose. I got a pretty good solid hit on the pose and then just pushed it. And I was so excited. I want to take this picture and copy it in.
Yeah, that way you'll have it. So I've been using PureRef to keep all of my references organized.
Yeah. But the thing I really love is that even if I try to line it up, it doesn't line up. That's what's so cool, is it doesn't line up at all.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, you just traced it. Oh, really?
Yep.
No, we didn't.
Nope. That just makes you feel good.
It does, yeah. You should head off to bed before you find something else to work on.
Yeah, I'm going to go to bed before I find something else. I'm just going to save this, though.
I know you well enough because I know me.
Right? Sadly, my friend, there's a reason why we're friends.
Yep.
Hey, Alfie showed up for just a second.
Yep.
And then Alfie left. That's all right.
Hi, Alfie. Hi, Alfie. Bye, Alfie.
I know. Love you, Alfie. As always. Good to see you for a little bit. But you got here just in time for us to call it for the night. All right, my friend. Thank you for joining me. And I know you were just doing work, but it was nice to have you here.
Yeah. It was nice to catch up. It's been a while.
Yeah, we both got work done and we got the things done. Now I'm going to go to bed and enjoy my bed because I have found the picture.
Yeah, you can rest. You did the thing.
Rest now.
Like how you're putting it as I'm allowed to rest. Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
I'm allowed to rest now. Thanks.
Well, I don't know. I was saying something about that the other day about ADD. It's almost like we have a different creature in our head, and sometimes it tells us to do stuff, and we've
I
got
know exactly what you're talking about, though. Like, oh, I have to do the thing. No, we need to rest. No, but I have to do the thing. No.
cannot rest until
Mom.
the thing has been done. Yes. So
Yep, I know the feel.
thank you, my friend, and I will talk to you later. And thanks for joining me, all two of the people who were joining. So I've noticed that we had 2 viewers. Then Alfie shows up, and we still have 2 viewers. So I'm starting to think that that's suspect a little bit there.
A little sus.
But that's all right. All right, guys, we're going to head on out. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. And as always, keep your eyes on the stars. Goodbye.
Good night.